Right.
The officials for tonight's game are Sergeant Tom Brown, Kai Rowett, and
Yep, I got you.
DeMayo.
I'm here. From Alumni Hall, Fairfield, Connecticut, on the campus of Fairfield University, it's Hillhouse and Fairfield Prep. Mike Crispino along with Mark Robbins. That's Fairfield Prep just in the home whites, coming in with a record of 9-0. First of two meetings between these two schools, and Mark, good chance that they'll probably meet again in the conference tournament, maybe again in the state tournament, so they're going to get used to seeing each other.
It is a barometer type game, Mike. Where are these teams at a roughly the midway point of the regular season? And again, you mentioned it, they'll play again in a few weeks. That'll be at the Floyd Little Center at Hillhouse, but this one tonight, a gauge for both squads.
Bernard Sutton coaches Hillhouse. Leo Redgate coaches Fairfield Prep. The officials tonight, Kai Rowett, Tom Brown, Lou DeMayo. Three-man crew works this one. And Fairfield Prep's Keith Petway handles first. He wears number 3. Petway on a drive inside, and his shot is blocked by Chase Daniels, a 6'8 senior who's got a big assignment tonight.
Well, there'll be two big guys in the middle. Daniels at 6'8", normally the biggest man on the floor, but not with Pasquale Chukwu at 7 feet.
Thomas Nolan inbounds, wears number 5 for Fairfield. The three-pointer off the mark that time by Ryan Murphy. And boarded by Fairfield, but a foul is called.
I believe they're going to get Chase Daniel on the body on that last shot.
The first foul called on Chase Daniels. Daniels, a senior, 6'8", 215. As Prep, little jump shot off the side of the basket. Tipped loose and on the move, Andre Anderson, a senior for Hillhouse, into the paint. Anderson lays it up and in.
That was Andre Anderson.
Well, the pace is going to be breathtaking when you're talking about Hillhouse. Fairfield Prep likes to run, Mike, but I don't know for how long they'll be able to keep up with the academics.
Keith Petway facing the pressure of Andre Anderson across the timeline. And he gives it up to Ryan Murphy. He's just a freshman. Nice dump down by Murphy and a jump hook off the side rim, no good. Battle for the rebound, that was Tim Butala. Here comes the academics on the fast break again. Shot missed, but the putback is good by Chase Daniels, and Hillhouse leads 4-0.
And when I say Hillhouse likes to run, I mean every player. Even the big man at 6'8" flies up the floor.
Just a minute 20 in, and Hillhouse with a 4-0 lead. Fairfield yet to score from the field. We go down to Chukwu, seeing 7 feet, trying to set himself up. Goes to the bank, and he's fouled by Chase Daniels.
That'll be 2 on the big man for Hillhouse. And that's a tough situation for Bernard Sutton early. A minute and a half in, and his center has 2 fouls.
And he's got to go to his bench immediately. Raekwon Clark set to check in. And Chukwu's free throw's good. Got a nice motion for a 7-footer.
Well, the offensive part of his game is certainly still a work in progress, but leaps and bounds is his improvement from last year as a sophomore to this, his junior season.
Nice rotation, 2 free throws, 4-2 Hillhouse. Anderson slowly across the timeline. In the near corner to Shane Christie, who's a junior.
Daniels still in. A gamble by Coach Sutton.
Now Daniels attacks the rim. He banks it up, no good. The dunk on the offensive glass, no good by Christopher Leake Jr. And here come the Jesuits, and a foul's called. So Fairfield Prep off the miss on the run. They'll get 2 free throws.
And Petway quick up the floor. And Bynum picks up the foul. Wasn't set in the middle of the lane, and Petway was able to blow by him.
Keith Petway, the junior, will get 2 free throws. He's averaging 6 points. That one off the back of the rim. So Prep yet to score from the field, trailing 4-2 early. Mike Crispino, Mark Robbins. Alumni Hall, packed house tonight. And that time he got the roll.
Yeah, this building, Mike, seats about 2,500, and the big bleachers to our left filling up. I'd say there's going to be close to 2 in the building tonight.
Daniels attacks again, and he gets the roll.
Chase Daniels for 2.
He's got 4 now.
Hillhouse 6-3 early on, 5.5 minutes to go in the first. Baseline floater, airballed, and Daniels come up with a rebound. That was Ryan Murphy, the freshman, on the miss. Anderson tries long range off the side rim, boarded by the Jesuits.
Really, it'll be a story of the backcourts in this one, Mike. It's a young backcourt for Fairfield Prep. Nolan, a sophomore, Murphy, a freshman, against Anderson and Bynum, the 2 veteran seniors.
Chukwu tries to stick one in from 20 feet away, and that rims in and out.
Prep doing a nice job getting back on defense, not allowing the Hillhouse any sort of secondary break off the miss.
Southern Connecticut Conference loaded with good teams. Career, Xavier, breathing down the necks of Prep and Hillhouse right now. Chukwu has it on the baseline. Trying to move on. Daniels got 2 fouls. Chukwu just misses the hook. And here come the Academics. On the move, Shane Christie deals it to Daniels. And the triple off the back rim, no good by Bobby Bynum Jr. Got it back though.
He'll take another one if he can get a shot. He has no fear.
Nice pass cross court, mishandled. Daniels attacks Chukwu, blocked. Tries again, blocked.
Well, that's how you pick up a half a dozen in a game.
And you mentioned Kevin Ollie on hand. The University of Connecticut coach had to like what he saw right there.
You can do that. You can do that.
The inbound to Daniels. Back to the basket. Nowhere to go. Ducks in. And kicks it back outside.
He learned his lesson.
And that's one thing a big man can do. Dissuade the offensive attack of the Academics. They get a man open down low. Chukwu blocks him again. He's got 3. And he kicks out the fast break. Here come the Prepsters. And the layup good by Ryan Murphy.
Well, they take advantage of Chukwu as the last line of defense, and they get a quick outlet up the side.
He's a freshman. He's a freshman.
And you can hear the student body for Fairfield Prep, long known for their boisterous rooting in hockey. And now that the basketball team is getting better, they're showing up on the near the hard court.
3-point attempt, bank shot, no. Rebound loose, picked up. White jerseys, 3-on-1. Here comes Fairfield Prep. And they have the lead. 7-6 on the layup from Keith Petway.
Little 4-0 run, and Petway's been able to get out, leak out, and get back and beat that Hillhouse backcourt up the floor.
Academics have been dominant going back to 2004. They've only lost 18 games. They've won 185. Step back jumper, good. Shane Christie. And the Academics have the lead back.
A lot of depth in the backcourt for Hillhouse. They are not deep up front, and that's why Daniel's still on the floor with 2 fouls.
This is Nolan, a sophomore guard. It's off the mark. Both teams cold from outside the arc to start. 2 minutes remaining here in the first. Open for 3. Rainbow 3 delivered by Shane Christie. Back-to-back jumpers by Christie, and the Hillhouse leads by 4.
Well, Christie with 5 straight from the perimeter, and that 7-6 lead is long gone for the Jesuits.
On the high post, the turnaround jumper off the mark that time by Tim Butella.
Daniels huffing and puffing up the floor. He is working hard against the 2 big men of Prep.
Long three by Christie. Tried for 3 in a row. That time off the mark. And deflected out of bounds by Hillhouse.
And that time there was no set offense. It was just Christie making the last 2 shots. He thought the third time would fall as well. Looking at it again. This is the three-pointer that he hit from the right wing. He tried the left side, about the same distance, but was off the mark.
Kawan Sturgis, a senior, wears number 15's in for Hillhouse, and the foul on Raquan Clark, who just entered the game. He's a junior. Well, the foul might be on Chase Daniels. No, it is 15, Kawan Sturgis.
Sturgis at 6'4", 200. They're going to need as many people inside as they can with Chukwu and Batalha running about 6'5", 6'6".
Petway 1 of 3 from the free throw line. That's been an Achilles heel for Prep in their 9-0 start. They're only 61% from the charity stripe. Petway's second one good.
Petway with 4.
Slowly across the timeline, Marcus Brown, another senior, is the depth showing here for Hillhouse. They nearly turn it over, and a foul called on Petway.
Petway reaching in and a little over zealous on the perimeter. You want to play solid defense, but 30, 35 feet away from the basket, there's no need to start reaching.
Final minute here of the first quarter. Jump shot good, rattled home by Andre Anderson, and Hillhouse has a 5-point lead.
You can't leave the guard line alone for Hillhouse. They like to shoot the basketball. They don't need a lot of space either. They can create enough open space and get the shot off.
Anderson has 2 baskets, 4 points. Ball nearly turned over deep in the corner by Prep, and they are able to hold on. Under 25 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Thought the pace might be a little bit quicker. Fairfield Prep, Mike, I think just trying to be a little bit more deliberate, and it's not so much their style. They like to run.
Really a backcourt violation that time by Prep. They'll try to take the last shot here as Petway controls. Now he attacks. Right to the rim, lays it in. 10 seconds left in the quarter.
Talk about breaking down the defense. He split 2 defenders.
And a foul called.
And I think that'll be the second on Petway. And again, Mike just reaching in, not moving his feet. And that's a difficult foul for Fairfield Prep to handle, but Petway already with 6 points in this one.
Especially in the final seconds like that. 2.6 seconds remaining for the Academics. They get it in quickly. They'll get a shot off. It'll beat the buzzer, but it does not catch the rim. And a miss by Raquan Clark ends the first. Hillhouse scored the first 4 points of the ball game, but Fairfield from that point on back in it. 13-10 after 1. Hillhouse over Fairfield Prep here on CPTV Sports.
Nice. I got it. Musculoskeletal. What do you? Yeah. What do you need? Petway has 6 for Fairfield Prep. Christie has 5. They're the leading scorers.
Anderson 4.
Yeah.
Daniels 4.
And Bynum, of course, we feature Bynum and Chukwu. They haven't scored. Or Chukwu's got 1.
2 free throws. He's got 2 free throws. Yeah.
Cool. Keith Petway. Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to take care of any shooting stuff, field goal percentage, any of that stuff. Try to get something together in the second quarter.
Okay, I got you. High school basketball on CPTV Sports is made possible in part by the New England Musculoskeletal Institute at UConn Health Center. 13-10. Hillhouse leading Fairfield Prep by 1, Mike Crispino, after 1.
The Prep got to the line for 6 free throws, and they're able to make 4 of those. Hillhouse yet to shoot a free throw. They have 1 3-point field goal in the quarter. And interesting that, as we mentioned, Pascal Chukwu, the 7-footer, the junior, had 3 blocks in a sequence that got Prep back in the ballgame. Looked like Hillhouse was maybe going to take control a little bit in the first. Chukwu turned that momentum around with 3 blocks.
Fairfield Prep sticking in the man-to-man it began the game with.
And going right by him that time on a nice drive, Raquan Clark lays it in.
That time Chukwu came out to challenge, and Clark blew right by him along the baseline.
This is Ryan Murphy, the kick out. Prep will be deliberate when they need to be, according to their coach, Leo Redgate. They're not afraid to run with Hillhouse. Now they drive inside, and the layup good. No fear for Thomas Nolan, the sophomore guard, who averages 10 a game.
Like the body control, worked his way through and then found the opening close to the rim.
And a whistle down low as there's some contact going on, and a foul called, an illegal screen on Marcus Brown, the 5'7" senior guard.
Little pressure now, and we haven't seen this yet by Hillhouse. A little man-to-man.
Keith Petway being hounded by Marcus Brown. And Petway attacks. Try to put up a layup. No good. Did catch iron. Chukwu comes up with a little jump hook in and out.
Well, you can see the offensive game still rounding into shape for Chukwu. Got the rebound over some much smaller players, but they forced him to try that turnaround hook instead of going straight up strong.
And a traveling violation on the Academics. It's been a clean game in the first quarter. Very few turnovers.
No, the only stoppages, 5 team fouls against Hillhouse, just 2 against the Jesuits in the first quarter.
Both teams 9-0, ranked 1 and 2 consensus in the state of Connecticut. Huge crowd on hand at Alumni Arena, the field house. Chukwu down low, found his man. The shot missed.
He put it on the floor. Once Battaglia put it on the floor, then the defense came over. If he had gone up straight, it was a nice pass from Chukwu, but he allowed the defense to rally to the basketball once he put the dribble down.
2 minutes into the second quarter here at Alumni Hall. Chukwu stays back in the paint. The drive, missed shot. Chukwu comes up with the board. So Raquan Clark unafraid. He's challenging the big man, but couldn't convert.
That's about the 3rd time he's scored once off him. Hasn't drawn any fouls yet. What a quick jumper.
Prep now 1 of 5 in the second quarter. Hillhouse 1 of 2. The 3 from top of the arc, no good, loose.
Another freshman, Murphy, bringing it up.
Murphy to Chukwu along the baseline, and he is fouled down the baseline.
I believe that's going to be the second on Marcus Brown, reaching in moments after the illegal screen. Oh, no. It's the second on Sturgis.
Turning to the lineup for Hillhouse is number 11, Chase Daniels, and number 22, Shane Christie.
Chase Daniels, Shane Christie back in. Remember, Daniels had 2 early fouls, so his coach, Renard Sutton, is taking a chance here with 5:15 remaining in the second quarter.
Looks like Coach Sutton wants something checked at the scorer's table.
Hirouette, a veteran official, explaining to Leo Redgate, and now back over to the Hillhouse bench. Good officiating there. Talked to both benches. So no one thinks that they're not getting complete service. Three-pointer straight on, and it rolls in. That's Ryan Murphy, a freshman guard who averages 12 points a ball game.
Getting some mature play from a young backcourt of the Jesuits. But then right there, they attacking, and Bynum splitting the defense. He's hobbled a little bit, injured, twisted his left ankle on Saturday in a victory over Pope John out of New Jersey. Told me before the game he was okay, ready to go.
For Hillhouse, number 31, Chris Leak.
Christopher Leak Jr. comes in. The senior wears number 31 for Hillhouse, a forward. Get in on the baseline, a rainbow delivery, rolls out. Battle on the boards, blocked by Chukwu, but a foul called, and that could be on Petway, and if it is, that's his third.
I believe you're right, Mike. And then getting inside, and that was Petway. He got to the shooter, Christie, first, and you know, maybe sometimes you forget that Chukwu was right there, and he swatted it away, but not before the body contact.
And the free throw rolls in off the hands of Shane Christie.
And it is the third against Petway, and what will Coach Redgate do? Can't imagine he'll leave him in.
That's the first free throw attempted by Hillhouse, and one of two as Chukwu comes up with the board.
Well, they couldn't get the sub in for Petway. He's still in as Rich Sakarik sits by the scorer's table, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, it's certainly going to affect Petway's aggressiveness, you would think. And a foul, a moving screen called against Fairfield Prep.
So, and Petway will sit down. Sakarik checking in. I don't know who the foul was on. No mention by the PA announcer or a mention on the scoreboard yet.
So Sakarik, the senior, in, the ball thrown away, deflected out of bounds. .423 remaining. It's about midway here in the second quarter. Hillhouse has led throughout, just one lead by Fairfield Prep. That came at 7-6. Here's Anderson, pull up, give up. Daniels scoops it home.
Chase Daniels.
I've got him with 6 now, and it shows the power that he has along the baseline.
Chukwu on the baseline. Now he looks to face up. Back to the basket. He changes, goes to a little jumper. That's off the side rim, no good. Boarded by Daniels, stolen by Prep, and knocked out of bounds.
Chukwu is still looking for his first bucket. Has those 2 foul shots.
Is Coach Leo Redgate staying positive with him? He's got to get his shots off. Here comes Daniels, tries to attack Chukwu, and he blocks him again. Knocks him down. Prep has a 5-4 advantage if they hustle. Off the bank, no good, and a foul call. Ryan Murphy's shot.
Well, that's compounding the first trouble with a foul by Murphy. He got inside, and Daniels came back and influenced the shot, and then Murphy reaching in from behind picks up a second.
Hillhouse 18.
And then
15.
Dave Zielinski with some his first appearance for Fairfield Prep. An energy guy, can be a streaky shooter if he gets going.
Just 2 field goals by Prep here in the quarter. Step back jumper way off the mark, rebounded by Chukwu. And Shane Christie missed by a lot that time.
And Chukwu faked coming out at him, and that was enough.
Attacking Daniels, ducking in, and a traveling violation. Well, that would have been Daniels' third foul. Instead, the travel called on Dave Zielinski.
Oh, nice idea by Zielinski, the old up and under. I didn't see where the feet were shuffled, and he got Daniels to go flying by. And look at it again. I thought he came down on a jump stop, but they made the call quickly.
Under 3 minutes remaining here in the half. Mike Crispino, Mark Robbins. CPTV sports coverage of high school basketball. Number 1, Hillhouse. Number 2, Fairfield Prep. And good defense that time by Prep. The ball deflected out of bounds.
Where was Raekwon Clark going when he had Chukwu and 6'6" Batala blocking off the baseline?
Anderson inbounds. They attack Chukwu, and he got a piece of it, and he comes up with a rebound.
He does a nice job of keeping his body away from the attacking penetration.
Well, when you're 7 feet and you have some control, that could lead to some very positive things on the defensive end. A foul called on Prep. That's the 7th team foul, I believe.
I think you're right. And that time Batala reaching over the back, and credit Clark for having perfect position to rebound the basketball, and Batala just reaching over from behind.
That will send Raekwon Clark to the line. He's a junior. Last year, Hillhouse went to the championship game before falling to St. Joseph's. They've won 21 state titles. A lot of people think the double L class, it's all about beating Hillhouse this year.
Well, it very well might be, but there are plenty of teams around the area. St. Joe's, even though Vito Montelli's gone, is a strong unit. Xavier out of the SCC, another Class double-L school. There are 3 very strong Class double-L schools in one conference, the Southern Connecticut Conference.
Dump it down low and a traveling call. Xavier, one of those teams in the Southern Connecticut Conference, will play at Fairfield Prep on Friday of this week.
That's a tough 1-2 combination for the week for the Jesuits.
Prep just got finished beating Career last week. Turnover.
They missed the kick.
And the Jesuits trail by 3 with under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. And an interception. In for the layup and a dunk instead.
That was Shane Christie.
Well, Christie with a burst to pick off that cross-court pass, and then a burst at the rim to finish with a flush. Leo Redgate not happy. Watch it again, just stepping in, picking it off from Nolan, and then why not show off the leaping ability? And Leo Redgate calls a quick timeout and wants to talk about things in the final 142. And Mike, I think right now Leo Redgate is concerned in the last minute 42. He doesn't want things to get away from his players. So that's why the timeout was called. This is a very important time for Prep to value the basketball, get good couple of shot opportunities. They're going to have to deal with the academics pressure.
Hillhouse 2015, 141 remaining. Important to finish strong for Prep. And now another steal. This is Bynum laying it in, and Hillhouse has their biggest lead.
Well, we talked about the veteran backcourt for Hillhouse, and last 2 possessions they've exploited the youth in the backcourt for Fairfield Prep.
Well, Petway with those 3 fouls has hurt Prep. He's been out for a few minutes, and they've turned it over twice. Chukwu kicks it across court.
He's way out of position there. He does Fairfield Prep no good 20, 25 feet from the basket.
That's the 7th team foul on Hillhouse, and that will put Fairfield Prep on the line. Tim Butella, a senior forward, is headed to MIT next year.
And a bit of a gamble. Ryan Murphy going to come back in for Fairfield Prep with 2 fouls. The freshman has been sitting out the last couple of minutes along with Petway, but they bring Murphy back in with 2.
Free throw way short. Fairfield now 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Under a minute to go. Academics attacking Chukwu, blocked him again. Loose ball, he comes up with it and he's fouled. So Chukwu now unofficially 5 block shots in the first half alone.
Boy, and that's what the defense of a 7-footer can do for you. They came out and they tried to stay with Raekwon Clark. He goes by on the dribble penetration, but Chukwu is just waiting for him. And again, Mike, what a nice job he does of getting the proper angle and using that long wingspan to make the block and never having contact with the body.
Misses the free throw, though.
See if Hillhouse wants to hold for one, or they may try to get 2 possessions out of this if they get a bucket plus pressure.
40 seconds left. They lead by 7, their biggest advantage.
They look like they're going to try and stall unless they get a layup.
Nearly turned it over, and a timeout called by Hillhouse. Bernard Sutton very animated as he calls his team over with 32 seconds left.
All right, let me ask you a question. As your experience in the striped shirt from years and years, what do you think about the ability of coaches to call timeout in the middle of the action?
Well, they get away with it a lot.
Well, they can do it, but do you like that rule?
I don't. No, I don't. That just takes the play out of the hands of the defensive team if the offense is in trouble. And it's tough as an official sometimes to know who has possession if they have possession. And you're almost assuming they're going to have possession, but you can't assume, so it's a tough call.
And how can you even pay attention to something that could very well be, is behind you? Then don't you have to take your eyes away?
Absolutely. Well, you got to go audio, obviously, but you do have to see it, so you got to turn your shoulders and kind of sight in the coach if you can. But it's difficult because sometimes you'll hear things from the crowd.
Right.
You think it's the official, but it's not. 30 seconds left. Hillhouse with the basketball and a 7-point lead. Number 1, the Academics. Number 2, the Jesuits of Fairfield Prep.
Look at this matchup. There's the run and jump we heard about. They'll try to trap. I think Hillhouse is better suited to just attack and take they're up 7.
Anderson running more time off the clock. 10 seconds remaining. He tries to set up Sakarik. They get down low and another blocked shot, but there's a foul called this time.
Maybe on Batala. Chukwu, great recovery. He was 30 feet from the basket on the opposite side of the floor.
And it is called on Butala. That's his second.
So Butala picks up 2. Petway has 2. 3.
And the free throw good by Shane Christie.
I've got him with 9 points to lead all scorers here in the first half. Corey Staggers checking in for Hillhouse. 2.5 seconds left. Hillhouse trying to play their prevent defense.
And both free throws are good by Christie. He's got 10. Final seconds and a traveling violation by Fairfield Prep. Butala, and 0.8 seconds left. They might have a chance to get a shot off. It'd have to be a heave.
One thing you know is they're not throwing it to the rim with Chukwu there. It'll have to be a long one.
Marcus Brown does get it in, gets the shot off, doesn't catch iron, and that ends the first half. Hillhouse late in the half on a 9-0 run, able to open up a 9-point advantage at the break.
Entertaining first half. Some adjustments, I think, for both squads in the locker room, and it'll be interesting to see what happens at the start of the third.
Yeah, Keith Petway going out with 3 fouls in the final couple minutes of that first half really hurt the Jesuits.
Yeah, they got exploited in the backcourt, the veteran leadership and the scoring ability of the Hillhouse backcourt, and their forwards able to help them stretch things out with that 9-0 run to end the half.
Shane Christie leads the way with 10 for Hillhouse, and they lead Fairfield Prep 24-15 at half here on CPTV Sports. All set, so we got a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
went to prep as well? When did you go there? Yeah. I was here in 77, 76. I went here in 76. 1 year, my junior year. I played with Casaria and those guys. Hogan. Sorry? You knew that,
Prep's not out. Hello, Megan.
Hey, Megan, you there? You let us know when you want us to start talking.
Let me do it, and I'll do a read when we come back. No, this is not football.
Oh, they're coming out. They're coming out.
This is not football. They do not do that. They did it last night?
What?
Really?
Wow, that's weird.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I had my reader. Now I don't have it. Where the heck did my reader go? I got it.
It's Alumni Hall. I gave the
Yeah.
wrong name. I don't know why I said Fieldhouse.
Eyewitness News is always on at WFSB.com, at your desktop or on the go. Channel 3 is delivering local news when and where you want it. Eyewitness News on your side. WFSB, a partner here at CPTV Sports, and Mike Crispino. It's pretty entertaining first half, and we'll see what Prep can do to cut it to the 9-point deficit.
Yeah, Keith Petway, the backcourt point guard for Fairfield Prep, went out about midway in the second quarter with 3 fouls. And Mark, at that point, Hillhouse took advantage immediately. A couple of steals, couple of easy buckets, and they opened up a 9-point lead going to the break.
We have Chukwu, Pasquale Chukwu, unofficially with 6 blocks in the first half. He's been a big defender around the rim. And Hillhouse hasn't knocked down a lot of threes. They've just finally, they've kind of worn down Prep and its defense to get this advantage.
Now Keith Petway starts the second half. Leo Redgate, I'm sure his coach told him, you've got 3, you've got to be careful, make good decisions. Because Prep had this game tied at 15 midway through that second quarter when Petway went out. Now he throws it away, turnover, steal by Christopher Leak, and the Academics have it.
Great position by Leak.
Anderson tries a 3 and he buries it. Andre Anderson's 3, just the second of the ball game for Hillhouse, and they have their biggest lead, 27-15.
7 points now for Andre Anderson, and the backcourt is starting to take over for the Academics.
This is Chukwu with it. Yet to score from the field. Another turnover. Academics with numbers for the moment. Attacking the rim and a foul called is Ryan Murphy. He's whistled for it.
If it's on Murphy, that'll be his 3rd. And that time Leak, I thought, was a little bit out of control. Murphy may have bailed him out.
That is Murphy's 3rd. Christopher Leak will go to the line. He's a junior rather. A senior rather, 6'2", 175. And he has the first. Hillhouse by 13 now. Second one way short. Fairfield Prep has not scored for the last several minutes. Driving inside, laying it up and in. Solid move by Thomas Nolan. And Nolan's got his 2nd bucket. He's got 4.
An experienced move from the sophomore.
Back down the other way. Hillhouse able to score inside.
Boy, Leak able to get inside, as you mentioned, Mike, and he's done it at both ends early in his 3rd quarter.
Now Petway has his shot rejected. Academics on the run of the open court. A layup no good. The putback no good. Anderson has it. He tried to reverse it home, couldn't do it. 3 misses from point blank range.
Fairfield Prep fortunate, and there is the trap that forced Nolan to shuffle his feet before he started his dribble.
Turnovers have hurt Prep here in the last few moments. They handled the ball well in the first quarter, did not turn it over.
And really, you're right, Mike, since Leak went out with his 3rd foul, they've been a little bit disheveled in the backcourt, a little bit confused by the pressure.
Well, there hasn't been much pressure put on by Hillhouse, but it's been effective. Anderson floats one up high, no good. Chukwu rebounds it. He averages 12 boards a game, a half dozen blocks.
Well, they had a pick and roll, but Petway didn't find him.
And a foul called on Hillhouse. That's Christopher Leak, and that'll put Tim Batalla on the line.
Nice job by Batalla to get good post position, and he's got size and girth, bulk in the advantage in the matchup against Leak, and that time he was able to use the body to draw the contact.
Another miss on the free throw line. Fairfield made 3 of their first 4 from the line. Since then, they've made just 1 of their next 5. Batalla will get another chance.
Batalla turning down some Division I schools to go to MIT next year.
30-18, just 2 minutes gone by here in the 3rd quarter. Mike Crispino along with Mark Robbins, Alumni Hall, Fairfield University, home of Fairfield Prep. Bynum with a nice crossover move, got himself open, knocks down the jumper. It's a 2-pointer.
The first bucket of the ball game for a kid that averages 15 a game.
Murphy fires it up, off balance, ball knocked around. Hillhouse comes up with it.
Hillhouse wastes no time.
And Leak continues to attack, or Shane Christie rather, credited with the basket. And a timeout called as Hillhouse has exploded and leads 34-18.
A 10-3 run to start this third quarter. And it's really a dangerous time for Leo Redgate and the Jesuits of Fairfield Prep. They haven't gotten into a track meet with Hillhouse, but when they've tried to push the ball up the floor, they've just been a little bit out of sorts offensively, and it's cost them turnovers and allowed Hillhouse to break the other way.
Since that moment in the second quarter when Keith Petway had to go to the bench with 3 fouls, Hillhouse has outscored Fairfield Prep 16-3. The game was tied at 15 apiece. And as you mentioned, 10-3 here in this third quarter. And that's not what Fairfield Prep needed. They needed a good start here to climb back in it. They trail by 16.
They're a balanced offense, Fairfield Prep. They have 4 players that average in double figures on the season, and they need balanced scoring, but they have not been able to work the inside-outside game because of the pressure on the perimeter. And you have to credit Daniels for really shutting down Chukwu and Batala on the inside against Prep.
And Batala has just 1 point, Chukwu 2, and they all came from the free throw line. And between them, they averaged 27 a game. So 3 minutes gone by, critical time here for Fairfield Prep in the third. On the move inside, Murphy misses, but Chukwu throws it down.
Well, the timing was impeccable by the big fella. You know, throw it up there toward the rim and let him go get it. It's not a bad game plan, Mike.
Chukwu has 4. Now they attack him. Shot no good, loose ball. Hillhouse comes up with it. Wild shot, another one doesn't catch the rim. Loose ball rebounded by Prep, and on the move in the paint. Shot no good and a blocking call.
Marcus Brown has had foul trouble throughout this game. Checks back in here in the third quarter, picks up another foul as he wasn't able to get his feet set and take the charge against Tom Nolan.
And I like that call, Mark Robbins, because the offensive player was in the motion. And if you can't defend him and your only out is to try to draw a block, a foul, a charge rather, I don't think you should be rewarded for that. But the missed free throw, and Prep has had all kinds of trouble at the line.
They have struggled at the foul line in this game, and Hillhouse has knocked down its foul shots on a fairly consistent basis. And since it was tied at 15, we're talking about a 19-5, 19-6 run over the last roughly 8 minutes almost of basketball.
Prep is 6 of 13 unofficially from the line in this game. They were 4 of 9 in the first. Those are valuable points.
Well, look
they
at
trail
this.
by 13.
Oh, they go back door. I thought they were going to go 4 corners.
And Chukwu blocks again. As that time he was challenged by Raekwon Clark and couldn't get it done. Murphy's step back jumper is good. And now Prep fights back there within 11, and Hillhouse calls a timeout.
Boy, the young freshman doesn't know better. Hits the jumper right in the teeth of the defense and then has a few cheers, even though it's still an 11-point lead for Hillhouse. But Prep is playing with a little more confidence now, a little extra pep in the Prepster step. Look at it again. And this is Murphy, again, just a freshman, and right into the teeth. Shane Christie in his shirt. He got the shot up and over and in.
Murphy has 7. Hit a 3 in the first half. That was the last bucket by Prep in the first half. It came in the opening 3 minutes of the second quarter, so their offense went dormant. Now they're back within 11.
Yeah, Murphy with 7 is the leading scorer. Petway had 6 in the first half, has yet to score here in the third quarter.
So Fairfield Prep now with a little bit of energy. It trailed by 16. They've cut the lead now to 11.
This is a very young Fairfield Prep team. They start 1 senior. They started a sophomore and a freshman in the backcourt.
A rematch of last year's state semifinal won by Hillhouse, who went on to lose in the final double L.
Academics really trying to stretch out the defense, use their speed to attack at the angle.
They'll take some time off the clock with 3.5 to go. I think this works in the favor of Fairfield Prep to some degree here in the third quarter. They look to double.
Boy, they've gone 4 corners, and without a shot clock, they can try to exploit the area.
Anderson drives, and he threw it away.
And you know, Mike, I agree with you. It's not something I think Hillhouse is comfortable doing, and with Chukwu there, a back door can easily be defended when you're 7 feet and have the wingspan that Chukwu has.
They're going to have to start putting up one of those block meters for him. He averages 6. He's over that number tonight. Under 3 minutes to go here in the third. They dump it down to Chukwu. Trying to go one-on-one. They double him. He regains. Kicks to Butala. Pull-up jumper. No good, side rim. And rebounded by Hillhouse, and a foul called on Chukwu.
Well, I think Chukwu might be a little unselfish to a fault. He seems to have good position, getting the ball 10, 12 feet from the bucket, and he's looking to kick it out first, shoot second, and he's got to work on taking a few more shots.
Just 1 bucket for Chukwu. That was on a putback dunk, a couple of free throws. He's got 4 points, averages 14. And Anderson continues to run time off the clock as Hillhouse attacking the rim. No good. The tip no good. Loose ball. Academics get it. Chukwu got a piece. Butala rebounds it.
Well,
he puts up a roadblock.
How many chances has Hillhouse had on the offensive glass here in the third quarter?
So Thomas Nolan, the sophomore guard, keeps it, goes to his left hand, lost it. And the Academics run the break. Petway can't foul him. The layup is missed, but the putback is good by Raekwon Clark.
Well, you rarely see Bobby Bynum miss a chippy like that, but Raekwon Clark had his back.
Nolan back the other way with an answer. Nice baseline runner.
Hey, he's crafty for a sophomore. He had the big 6'8" Chase Daniels coming out, and he floated one over.
Now the attack again. The shot no good, but rebounded by Chase Daniels. And a foul on Nolan.
Nolan just a half a step late coming out to challenge that pass around the top of the key.
That's the first on Nolan, third on Fairfield Prep. Minute 25 remaining here in the third. Number 1 Hillhouse, number 2 Fairfield Prep. The Southern Conference confrontation. Southern Connecticut Conference, both undefeated to start the season, 9-0. They'll meet again on the 1st of February at Hillhouse. And Hillhouse looks like they're going to be content to run the rest of this quarter off, and Petway's called for a foul.
Well, you have to understand the situation. And if you're Petway, you can't pick up your 4th foul 30 feet from the basket. There's no sense in pressuring the defender that far away, Mike.
And Petway goes to the bench. Mark it down, Mark. A minute left in the third. Let's see what happens this time. Hillhouse took advantage of that in the second quarter when Petway had to go to the bench with foul trouble. Scored the last 9 points of the second.
Murphy guarding Bynum, and he's playing off him enough. And then he jumps up on him, and I'm not sure why.
And they double. Hillhouse looks like they're going to be patient. Pull up rainbow good by Shane Christie. And Christie now has 14.
Mike, if you notice, Hillhouse will attack when Prep comes out to challenge. They don't attack if the defense doesn't come out. That's when Hillhouse uses its quickness.
And the 3 knocked down by Ryan Murphy.
Second 3 of the quarter for the freshman.
10-point game. Anderson's pull up off the mark. Chukwu couldn't come up, but he blocks Daniels. And Daniels came up with it, and that'll end the quarter. Basket would have been good if it went, but it didn't.
That's the end of the third
So
quarter.
Fairfield within 10
38.
on the Ryan Murphy 3-ball late in the third quarter. They trail at 38-28.
Hillhouse, for all of that effort, picked up just 1 point on its halftime lead.
We'll be back. The fourth quarter coming up. Number 1 Hillhouse, number 2 Fairfield Prep, here from Alumni Hall at Fairfield University on CPTV Sports.
My choice, huh? I'll surprise you. No. Let's do game time.
5,
Okay.
7, 10 for Murphy, right?
Yeah, 6 in the quarter. You notice that though? If Prep doesn't come out and challenge, that's when they go right by it.
Yeah, I know. You're down 10. You can't let them sit there, I guess, right? If you're Prep, what do you think? Call their bluff, just sit there? That'd be kind of embarrassing, but I guess.
Well, we did a game last week at East Catholic, and East Catholic just sat back.
Against Windsor, right? You did that game?
Windsor, yeah. They.
That's a surprise, but that just goes to show you could do that to Windsor.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to attack, if you're going to come out and defend, then have your rotation down because. All right. Well, let me get the game time in first. Right. Tune in to CPTV Sports every Thursday night at 7 for Game Time, hosted by Joe Zone and John Holt, featuring interviews with coaches, players, and sports writers from across the state, as well as comprehensive analysis on the Connecticut sports scene. It's Game Time on CPTV Sports, Thursdays at 7.
Mike Crispino along with Mark Robbins. Fourth quarter about to begin. Number 1 Hillhouse with a 10-point advantage, 38-28. Game was tied at 15 in the final moments of the second, and Hillhouse finished in a 9-0 burst. They get the first bucket of the fourth quarter, Raekwon Clark.
Oh, a tough drive along the baseline and bailed out as Zielinski. He got fouled on that wild reverse attempt.
Hillhouse foul charge to Chase Daniels is third.
Well, they say that's the third on Daniels.
Number 11, Daniels.
And he played that whole
2 shots.
second quarter with just the 2 fouls.
So Zielinski will go to the line. He's a junior. The free throw no good. We've been talking about Fairfield Prep's free throw shooting. It hasn't been good. They're 6 of 14 on the night. And the second one is good. 11-point Hillhouse lead, and they turn it over.
We have 9 blocks for Chukwu unofficially. He's working on he may have a double-double with rebounds and blocks.
Gonzalez open. It's a 3-point attempt. He's got it. And the Prepsters are within 8.
And the pressure. Some teams, the press, don't like it against them. And Bernard Sutton.
And Hillhouse wants a timeout.
Well, Prep coming out, try to give Hillhouse some of its own medicine, and Leo Redgate said they might do that. And they come out off the inbound, wide open, Butala. The big man, that's his first bucket. A big 3.
And Butala with 4 points now. He has been held in check in this game. On the season, averaging 13 plus, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Good passing big man. But Hillhouse has controlled him. Chukwu, the 7-footer, has just 4 points. But as you say, a bundle of rebounds and 9 block shots. Kelvin Ollie here from University of Connecticut watching, I'm sure, the development of this man, Pascal Chukwu.
Oh, you know it. You can't have, when you have a 7-foot tree growing in your state. And there he is. Last night, tough loss for the Huskies in their last game against Louisville. Had a 6-point halftime lead, and then the Cardinals blitzed them in the second half.
Yeah, talked with Kevin at halftime. He said, Rick Pitino knows how to put the ball in the wrong man's hands when he presses you. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. And UConn, with that really a stellar backcourt, couldn't handle it against Louisville. That's why they're number 1 in the country right now.
And here's the pressure from Fairfield Prep.
And Anderson able to draw the foul.
And what a smart play. Anderson saw Zielinski coming back to try and hustle back in the defensive position. And he just used that against Zielinski, and that's 5 now against the Jesuits.
Hillhouse has not been to the line very often, just 2 times in the second half. They're 1 of 2. And in the first half twice as well, or 3 times, and they were 1 of 3. So Andre Anderson, the 5'9" senior, will run the show.
And they're just trying to exploit Prep with the speed.
Bynum trying to attack, and he alley-oops it to Chase Daniels, who flushes.
Well, they set him up and work the back door wide open for the jam.
And the lead back to 10.
And Mike, that's what the speed from the backcourt does. It attacked Prep, got into open space, and Chukwu left Daniels alone.
Pull up by Zielinski's no good. Boarded by Hillhouse. Butala took it away. Now he sets up Chukwu, and a foul was called on Hillhouse.
They're going to get Christopher Leak on a push in the back.
Hillhouse foul on Chris Leak, his second.
Let's see if they work an out-of-bounds play. They might try some sort of lob to Chukwu. See if they can get it up high.
Well, they doubled Chukwu deep in the corner for 3. It's off the mark. Chukwu up for the rebound on the offensive gas. Butala tries, and he hits. Back-to-back 3s. 7-point game.
Prep won't go away.
Now Hillhouse, 2 minutes gone by here in the 4th. They're spreading the floor. Now they attack Chukwu, and the floater goes in by Shane Christie.
Well, that was a gorgeous play, Mike, and he just attacked Chukwu and fended him off and floated it in with the right hand.
Christie with 16 now to lead the way. Chukwu on the baseline, deals it to his guard, no good, and a foul called on Fairfield Prep.
Bringing a guard along the baseline and handing it off. Chukwu, again, no shot attempt for the big fella. Again, unselfish to a fault.
Well, you know, you get it in your head when you haven't scored. You've taken a bunch of shots. You probably start thinking, maybe it's not my night, even though you are 7 feet tall.
And he hasn't taken a bunch of shots, though. He's only missed 3 or 4 attempts.
Well, and a steal. Nice play. They couldn't save it. And the Academics have 3-on-1. Chukwu back, and they'll have to reverse, kick it back out again. 5:15 remaining, and they lead by 9.
Well, they nearly triple teamed, and boy, Zielinski is a whirlwind with his pressure, isn't he?
And Zielinski's called. It's on Zielinski. That's his second. That's the team 7th. So here we are with 5:10 remaining, and in the bonus, the Academics.
And Hillhouse is an excellent team at the foul line, and it's something that Leo Redgate is concerned about. When you're chasing and trailing and in a ball game, you got to be careful.
And a missed free throw. They don't convert it. Here's Murphy. Pull up 20-footer this time. And he hits.
I didn't hear glass call, but we'll count it.
He banked it from straight on, and it's a 7-point game again. Here come the Academics behind the back pass. And deflected out of bounds.
Boy, the energy level for Fairfield Prep has been phenomenal in this game, Mike. They have ratcheted up the energy when they've needed to. They got behind double digits midway through the 3rd quarter, and they continue to battle back.
Under 5 minutes remaining. Chase Daniels won't shoot it. Gives it back to Anderson. He's handled the ball impeccably all night. Just 1 turnover. Butala with a foul, though, and that puts Hillhouse on the line again, 1-1.
8 team fouls against the Prepsters here. And speaking of fouls, here comes Petway with his 4. He has been out for the last minute of the quarter, the third, and the first, 3:20 roughly here in the fourth.
And Leo Redgate kept him out as long as he can, and to their credit, the Prep stayed within 7. Now they're down 8.
Christie's having a night with 17.
Shane Christie's just a junior. Another opportunity here. And the game's high scorer now has 18. So Petway with 4 is back in the ballgame, and he draws a foul.
And all of a sudden, every little touch is getting a whistle.
Number 3, Bobby Bynum, charged with the personal foul.
It was a hand check call that time. If you impede the dribbler, get an advantage out of it, you will get called.
They haven't run a lot of plays for Chukwu.
Petway gives to Murphy, fires straight on, no off the side rim, and rebounded by Hillhouse. Their guards do a nice job of rebounding. Anderson now quickly to the front court, into the paint, challenging Chukwu, and he finds his man. It's Shane Christie who's got 20.
Well, you get the ball into the hands of Andre Anderson. He gets it up the floor and knows how to dish for the assist.
Here's Murphy, just a freshman, into the paint, behind the back, shot block, got it back, down to Chukwu, can't come up with it. As Hillhouse able to step in, and they run the touchdown home. So fast break, and they get another bucket from Shane Christie.
That's 6 straight Hillhouse points for Christie. And suddenly the lead balloons to 13, and it's because of Shane Christie and the defense. That time, Mike, Chukwu, believe it or not, has to make himself bigger than the 7 feet that he is as they try to pass it in, and they just stepped inside of him to make the interception. And Christie is a blur up the floor, and a fast break bucket for Shane Christie gets him to 22 on the night.
I would say Chukwu has got a few things to learn offensively, but defensively, he's a fairly well-refined player. And I know that Kevin Holly, looking on closely, the UConn coach tonight, has to have a little gleam in his eye. He's right here in Fairfield at Fairfield Prep, and he's a junior.
Hillhouse now, Mike, with a lead of 13, and if you're Fairfield Prep, you have to be concerned about letting things get away. They have to come up with some points here, I think, in this possession, and that's probably why Leo Redgate called the timeout, to try and stem the momentum and make sure they come out of a timeout and execute something.
Hillhouse, 5 team fouls, Prep with 8. So to get to the line, they need 2 more team fouls, and there's 3:50 remaining in the ball game. Got to get to the line, got to stop the clock, and Prep will have to deal with the Hillhouse backcourt, who's been able to control the ball, 4-corner style at times in this game.
And Hillhouse relentless now with its press, and they're just not going to let Prep have an easy time bringing it up.
Here's Petway. Gives to Mutala. They guard him closely. Now Nolan. Nolan, long range 3 off the side rim and out of bounds.
That's trying to get 5 points in one basket. I think a little bit too quick with that shot, and they are not looking inside at all. They are working the perimeter. They don't need necessarily to hit threes. They just need points right now and then defensive stops. 2 of the Jesuits' last 3 buckets have been threes. That's what they need right now. With 3:20 remaining, they trail 50 to 37. Hillhouse 9-0, trying to go 10-0. Anderson and Bynum, seniors, running the show for the Academics. And Petway's got to be careful on those double teams. He's got 4 fouls.
Under 3 minutes remaining.
Murphy trying to stay with Bynum, who's got that quickness advantage.
Bynum attacks, deals to Daniels. Chukwu denies him, but he's fouled.
Well, he went for the block of the dunk, and you have to credit, how about Raekwon Clark for going up strong.
The third on Chukwu, the 9th on the team.
I mean, not backing down to the big man, and sometimes you just can't help but get a little contact. Chukwu so long.
You know, he reminds me a little bit of Mutombo, not as a pro, but going back to early in his college days. He's got that similar sort of body at 7 feet.
How about a guy a little bigger that played about 10 minutes down to I-95? Manute Bol at Bridgeport.
Yeah, a little bit. He's got more offensive skill, I think, than that potentially.
I don't know why. Did they call it intentional?
Clark is getting 2 free throws.
And somebody picked up a
It was a
technical
technical
foul.
foul, and it's being explained right now to Leo Redgate.
Well, somebody, it wasn't Chukwu, it's somebody else for Prep said something.
It's not, they weren't near the Fairfield Prep bench, so I'm going to assume it wasn't the coaching
I
staff.
think it might be just because he's looking for, his hands are stretched out. Ryan Murphy looking at the coach saying, was it me? And I think he got a stern nod from Coach Redgate, like, yes, it was.
And 4 straight free throws opens up a 17-point lead, and Hillhouse gets the ball, so this could be a potentially killer sequence here.
Yeah, and it was Murphy. He's coming out now as Zielinski will come back in. And he goes over to Coach Redgate. And something was said.
Academics able to inbound the ball, and the lead is 17. It had been 7 just moments ago. Here's Anderson. And a traveling violation that time.
And Christie saw the lane open up wide, and his eyes got big as he shuffled. One last little run if Prep has it in him. Got to come now.
Petway trying to dump it down low. He gets it to Chukwu, and he deals it to Petway, and he has his shot blocked. He regains it, but he stepped on the baseline. So Keith Petway, who had 6 points in the ball game early on, has been shut out in the second half.
Yeah, and I think the foul trouble has taken him out of the flow.
At Chukwu challenged, and he gets a piece of it.
And now what? They got another tee. We got a technical foul. I think they're going to get Clark for grabbing the rim.
Could be. And Tom Brown made the call.
Technical foul. Basket interference.
Basket interference.
Hillhouse. Number 5, Thomas Nolan on the line for Prep. They shoot the
And
technical.
they're going to give it to Chase Daniels, according to the board.
Nolan 91% from the line, has the first.
Well, you can get some of those foul shots on the technical on Murphy back here.
And the second one, no good. So 8 of 16 from the line on the night for Fairfield Prep.
Well, you can look back in that spot and say, you know, if you're 11 for 16, you still got a shot on this one.
Utala drives, and he's fouled on the way in.
That'll be the 7th, so it'll be 1 and 1. You got to take these free opportunities and make the most of them.
Oh, and it stops the clock. And that's what you need, the clock, not the ally of Fairfield Prep.
1 and 1.
Utala had trouble earlier from the free throw line, but he makes that one. 9 of 17 from the free throw line for Prep.
Marcus Brown checking in for Shane Christie, who may be done for the night with 22 points. Oh no, I think Christie's going to go right back in.
Butala can't complete the free throws, 1 of 2.
And Zielinski he is a ball of energy.
That's putting it kindly. That's his third. But it does stop the clock. Hillhouse, however, has been good on the foul line, so they've been able to take advantage of it. Clark just made 4 in a row. And now a miss.
It's the double bonus, though, with 10 team fouls.
Number 4, Ryan Murphy, in for Keith Medway.
Well, Leo Redgate in his third season as the head coach, 52 and 11 coming in. Had been an assistant for 7 years. Fairfield Prep basketball had not been of high standard. Hockey had been their thing, but last couple of years under Redgate, they've come along.
That they have, and the hockey program still one of the states and one of the region's best.
Zielinski gets stripped as he went up for 3, and he commits a foul.
Well, battle between number 1 and number 2 was tight for the first half. Kind of even after 3 quarters, at least in that third quarter. But then, really, I think, Mike, it was the backcourt, the speed, and the execution of Hillhouse that kind of wore down Fairfield Prep. Bynum with a soft touch there. It's his first foul shot on this one. He has been quiet, averaging 15 points a ball game, and I got him for 3.
2 teams will meet again the 1st of February at Hillhouse.
And you can bet the Floyd Little Athletic Center, and boy, the athleticism of Clark, but he goes out of control. And that's a great facility. At Hillhouse, the Floyd Little Athletic Center will be as loud as it's been here at Alumni Hall at Fairfield U.
Bill Butala goes to the line. Again, it's 1-1. He went 1 of 2 in his last go around. He had a couple of big threes in the third. It got Prep back within 7 about midway through the third. And they trailed by 7 at 44-37. A couple of fast break buckets, and then the technical foul. 4 free throws by Clark. Open it back up to 17.
Butala with 10.5 for Fairfield Prep.
So the Southern Connecticut Conference, one of the best in the state of Connecticut, and 2 of the best in the conference tonight. Hillhouse number 1 in the state, Fairfield Prep number 2, but Wilbur Cross is 8-1. They lost to Hillhouse big, though, the first time around, 65-35. Those 2 New Haven rivals. Amity 7-2. They had lost to Fairfield Prep 55-44. Lost to Hamden by 1. And the basket is good, and a foul is called.
Well, Christie's back on the floor and adding to his total. And taking it right to Chukwu. Senderick, I guess, picked up the foul.
Number 24 is Chris Kelly. And number 10, Ray Featherston, in for Pascal Chukwu and Tommy Noble.
And Chukwu goes to the bench. Impressive performance, though he didn't score much. Double-digit blocks, double-digit rebounds, and he has a bright future in this game.
Oh, yeah, they're just tapping into that talent.
Ryan Murphy to the front court. He's scored in double figures as a freshman in this game. He attacks the rim, shot blocked. Murphy a dozen points.
And quite the confidence for a freshman.
And emptying the bench now is Renard Sutton, their coach. His first season, 2010, 20-2. Last year, 26-2, 9-0 this year. He just carried on that great Hillhouse tradition. Juan Sepulveda comes in. He's a junior, wears number 24 for Hillhouse. Juan Sturgis is in as well. Here's a steal, loose ball on the floor. And Bynum has it. He threw it away as he tried to spin into the basket. 52 seconds remaining.
Wild sequence, but the effort and the energy still high.
Ray Featherston's a sophomore. He's in the game. A foul is called on Dion Boyd, the junior for Hillhouse.
Good ball fake and a baseline drive by Chris Kelly.
He's a senior. Well, Leo Redgate was saying he'd like to play Hillhouse 20 times, win 8 games, go to the tournament, and then be dangerous. Well, you don't get him 20 times, you get him twice. I think that's enough.
Yeah, well, at least in the regular season, and there's the possibility of the SEC tournament, the Class LL state tournament. You know what? It's the old, if you want to be the best, you got to play and beat the best.
Kelly misses both, and the Academics come up with it. Let's see if they keep attacking. They do, but it's taken away by Murphy. 30 seconds left and a foul called on Dion Boyd. So he's getting his money's worth early on here in the final couple minutes.
Getting the name recognition out there. And Murphy does a nice job. I thought he was going to get roll blocked there, and it could have been a bit of a dangerous play, but he was able to kind of leap over Boyd.
And Murphy has the first, got 13 points now.
He's got 9 now in the second half.
So Prep now 13 of 22 from the line. But it'll be a little too late as Hillhouse maintains their unbeaten record at now 10-0. Final seconds ticking off, and the tip is good.
Tip in by
Karan Sturgis.
Well, just playing out the final seconds, but again, the energy level extremely high for the kids on the floor. And again, they'll meet up again in a couple of weeks. And it'll give Prep some time to analyze what went wrong, and of course Hillhouse won't rest on its laurels.
Now the key moment in the game was when Keith Petway, their point guard, had to go out with foul trouble. They had a bad stretch there for about 4 or 5 minutes that enabled Hillhouse to go to the locker room at halftime with a 9-point lead. Here's Zielinski from the corner, no good. And that'll do it. So Hillhouse comes in number 1. They'll leave Alumni Hall number 1 as they defeat their conference rivals Fairfield Prep 59-44.
Well, it was an entertaining ball game, and you know we saw a lot of good things from both squads. And the beauty of this matchup here at this time of the season, both squads I believe are going to get better when they play each other again in a few weeks, and even after that as they get ready for the conference and state tournament.
Well, Prep sent a little signal out last week when they defeated Career, which had won the state title back-to-back. But here tonight against Hillhouse, they are not up to it. 59-44 the final. For Mark Robbins, I'm Mike Crispino from Alumni Hall on CPTV Sports. He's headed out there somewhere.
You ready to go? I don't know.